Alright, welcome to another video, guys. Well, today we are talking about reinventing the wheel, and it's all about perspectives and going back to the roots of things and looking at them from a different angle and basically trying to not turn a circle into a square, but turn like a circle into like a cylinder. Or not a cylinder. Well, I mean, a cylinder might work, but turn it into a sphere. Jesus Christ, words. Words are hard sometimes. But anyways, so, this is the question. At least this is the statement that we asked. Why not reinvent the wheel? Stagnance and contentedness cause us to become complacent in the task at hand. Perspective in this matter is extremely important to take into consideration. Reinventing the wheel from the perspective of shape, a circle or a square, or circle or a triangle, this would be a bad perspective because it does not take into consideration the standing circumstances that a general shape like a circle can become, or a ball or a cross, two tires crossed over laid vertical and horizontal to allow forward and sideways motion, or like a ball with 360-degree motion. Concept of reinventing the wheel should be more of moving past air-filled rubber tires to more advanced metal mesh foldings versus air-filled, like how NASA is developing for rovers for different terrains. With this perspective taken, and reinventing the wheel becomes a productive and meaningful task. How far away are we from this when it comes to politics? Alright, here we go. Your analogy for reinventing the wheel is spot on. It's not about pointless regression, like swapping a circle for a square, about thoughtful evolution to handle new challenges better. NASA's development of shape memory alloy SMA tires for planetary rovers exemplifies this perfectly. These non-Newtonic pneumatic wheels, made from nickel titanium alloys woven into a flexible mesh, deform over rough terrain like rocks or sand and snap back to shape without air pressure, outperforming traditional rubber tires that puncture or wear out on Mars-like surfaces. This innovation builds on the wheel's core principle, rolling efficiently, while adapting it for extreme environments, avoiding complacency when with outdated designs. Applying this to politics, where systems often feel stagnant and disconnected from modern crises like climate change, inequality, and technical distribution, reinvention means evolving beyond rigid hierarchical models. Traditional representative democracy, toward more adaptive, inclusive, and tech-enabled frameworks. Current governance frequently suffers from limitations like inefficiency, eroded trust, siloed operations, and inability to handle interconnected global issues, leading to polarization and stalled progress on goals like the UN's Sustainable Development Agenda. Just as air-filled tires limit rover mobility on alien worlds, outdated political structures rooted in 20th century design struggle with 21st century demands, fostering complacency and public disillusionment. We're seeing productive steps towards reinvention, but we're still quite far from widespread transformative adoption, mostly in the pilot and proposal stage. With increment tweaks rather than full overhauls, here's a breakdown of progress. Emerging models and experiments, inventors are experimenting with upgraded wheels. In governance, drawing on technology, participation, and foresight to make systems more resilient and responsive. AI augmented and deliberative democracy. Proposals integrate AI for real-time policymaking, risk assessment, and enhancement citizen input, blending it with deliberative forums where randomly selected citizens, mini-publics, debate and recommend policies. For instance, scholars advocate for new integrity standards in these forums to ensure fairness. This could evolve representation into something more dynamic, like liquid democracy, where voters delegate decisions fluidly. Early implementations include AI tools in public services for efficiency, but full-scale governance remains conceptual with risks Risks like biases and privacy. Your nose is itchy as fuck. Swear it's like just this one hair and they're just going like, nah, bitch, fuck you, and guy here. Participatory and decentralized governance, shifting power downward. These models empower locals and citizens directly. Brazil offers real-world examples. Collab and digital platform for reporting issues and consultations reaches over 40% of citizens in some cities. Renova BR trains diverse new leaders. Renova BR trains diverse new leaders to renew politics from within. The OPA enables massive participatory budgeting with 270,000 plus people voting on state projects via apps. Globally, citizens assembles in Ireland for constitutional reforms, and digital tools in Estonia's e-governance show promise for direct input. UN foresight scenarios push for decentralized networks using blockchain for transparency and crowdsourcing for decisions. Systems thinking and adaptive frameworks reports emphasize robust democracy that adapts via foresight units, agile policymaking, and cross-sector partnerships to anticipate crisis. This includes embedded AI and data for climate-focused global cooperation or cybernetics-inspired feedback loops to revitalize eroding systems. How far are we? Close in pilots, far in scale. By 2025, we've got prototypes, like NASA's rover tests, but not mass production. Innovations are mostly local or experimental. Brazil's initiatives are AI and U.S. legislation, affecting niches rather than overhauling national or global systems. Trust erosion and resistance to change from entrenched powers, slow progress, much like how pneumatic tires persist on Earth despite SMA alternatives. Barriers to full reinvention. Radical shifts face hurdles like regulatory gaps, digital divides, and geopolitical fragmentation. We're perhaps 10 to 20 years from mainstream adoption if trends accelerate, driven by crisis, AI deepfakes disrupting elections, or successes, expanding participatory models, optimistic outlook. With reports like the UN's pushing alternative futures and governments exploring AI for lower cost, higher value delivery, momentum is building. Just as rover wheels evolved for new terrains, politics could too. We prioritize perspective and experimentation over stagnation. The key is scaling these mesh foldings without breaking the system's core utility. Pretty much, right? Again, like, we don't want to change it from a circle to a square, from a circle to a triangle. We want to change it from a circle to a sphere, a circle to a cylinder, a circle to, like, a circular cross of some kind, you know? Like, we don't want to change the shape. We want to change the construction of it, the material it's made out of, its fundamental internal pieces, right? That's what's super important about it. I think that's the direction we should be looking. But anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a comment and a like. As always, I'm Intoxication, and we'll see you again for sure.